Well, welcome to week 3 of Global Ethics. I'm Dr. Tebow. This week we have a pretty easy assignment. We haven't had anything too difficult up until this point, and this is no different. When we're looking at this week's assignment, Your Life's Quest, this is really something that ties a lot into virtue ethics, a topic we're going to study more. This week you're trying to answer the questions of who am I? What do I want to become? Who's formed me? How am I formed? Where am I going? These are very important questions when it comes to virtue ethics. When we move to the modern theories, we're more likely to look at things kind of black and white, right? So in the modern approach, we would say, in this situation, do I steal or not steal? Do I break the law or not break the law, right? It's either this or that in the modern approach. When we're looking at virtue ethics and the more classical approaches to ethics, we're looking at the bigger picture, right? We're looking at who you are as a person. We're looking at your character. These things all matter. The context matters within virtue ethics. So with this, we have this idea of teleology. Teleology is where we are ultimately going. What's the big picture here? And teleology really helps. So if you think about even something as simple as doing this assignment, for example, you might look at it and go, oh, one more thing to do this week, right? We sometimes get assignments like that and just hits us in the wrong mood and we go, why do I even have to do this? But if we're looking at it through the lens of teleology, an important part of virtue ethics, then we can take a step back and say, well, why am I doing this assignment? Well, it's so I get a broader understanding of virtue ethics and ethical theories, which should make me a better person, hopefully. It also helps me in this class, which helps me graduate from Johnson & Wales, and with a degree from Johnson & Wales, hopefully it means I can get a better job, I can accomplish some goal I was trying to do. It might give greater stability for me and my family. It will ultimately help my kids or my grandkids, right? And when you take the big picture in mind, well, why are you going to do this assignment? It's so that you flourish as a human being, right? Not just in this assignment, but in all aspects of your life, right? Might just seem like one small thing, but it's part of a bigger picture, right? So why do you do anything in life? Well, when you look at the bigger purposes behind it, it becomes something much bigger, right? It becomes a lifestyle. Another way of looking at it would be, Mother Teresa would say, we're not always called to do big things, but we're called to do small things with great love. Right? I think that is part of it as well. How do you do small things with great love? Right? Part of that is to be part of your story. Right? If you're a mother or a father, a grandparent, right? Or a future one someday, right? Cooking a meal isn't just cooking a meal, right? It's feeding your family, right? It's something different. It's like Thanksgiving, right? It's not just about a turkey. It's about a family gathering. It's about the stories that are created, the lives that are shared, the thankfulness you have, right? All of the parts play into the bigger story, right? This is, again, teleology. And this week, when we're asking these questions of who we are and where we come from and where do we ultimately want to go, this is again teleology, and I think it's part of the classical approach to ethics, abandoned by the modern ethics. People like Immanuel Kant and Jeremy Bentham and John Stuart Mill, John Locke, Hume, they've all abandoned the teleology, but I think from the Aristotelian Thomas Aquinas perspective, it's very important. And I think this week, when you reflect on your own lives, I think you can see this. I think you can see why it's important. Why is it important to know who you are and where you are, what you want to accomplish? Well, because ethics, in a classical perspective, is about creating a good life, right? Living a good life. Again, modern approach is more, in this situation, do you pull the lever or don't pull the lever to redirect the train, right? The trolley problem. You got people on a lifeboat and you have to kick 5 people off. Who do you kick off, right? This is a very modern approach to ethics. But in the classical approach, it's much more about being a good person, right? And having a flourishing life and to be happy, right? There's an element of eternal happiness built into this. So I think this does help us along the way. It's just one step, but this is ultimately a part of virtue ethics, something we're going to unfold moving forward. And the question at the end that says, well, how does this relate to the different ethical theories we've studied? We really haven't studied many ethical theories up to this point. This question would be great at the end of the class. It's not that useful here, but just do your best to relate to that. Okay, have a great week.